Once upon a time, in a cozy yet crowded pigsty, lived Mother Pig and her 3 young sons, Pip, Patch, and Barnaby. The day came when Mother Pig declared it was time for them to venture into the world and build their own homes. "Do your best, my dears," she urged, a phrase that echoed differently in each pig's heart. Barnaby, thoughtful and earnest, nodded solemnly. Pip and Patch, however, were already dreaming of fun and freedom. The brothers set off, their paths diverging quickly. Pip, eager to finish, impulsively bought a bundle of straw from a quick-talking farmer. "Quick and easy," he squealed, envisioning immediate play. Patch, after a brief negotiation with a stick gatherer, decided sticks were a good enough compromise. But Barnaby, steadfast and wise, refused to settle. He searched diligently, seeking the strongest, most durable materials he could find. Meanwhile, deep in a gnarled section of the forest, lived Alistair Al Wolf. Al wasn't just big and bad, he was cunning, driven by a gnawing hunger. He also held a long-held grudge against pigs, a humiliation passed down through his family line. He had been tracking the 3 young pigs, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. Pip quickly built his straw house, spending his days singing and dancing. Patch, taking a few days longer, constructed his stick house. He soon joined Pip in their carefree revelry. Barnaby, however, toiled tirelessly, laying brick by brick. He scoffed at his brother's flimsy choices. A wise old owl, perched nearby, hooted a warning about the lurking wolf. But the playful pigs merely waved it off. Then, one blustery afternoon, Alistair Wolf arrived at Pip's straw house. Little pig, let me come in," he growled, his voice laced with false charm. Pip, trembling, refused. Alistair's eyes narrowed. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." His breath, a powerful, almost elemental force, tore through the straw, sending debris flying. Pip shrieked, scrambling out and fleeing in a panic towards Patch's stick house. Brother, the wolf!" Pip cried, bursting through Patch's door. Patch, now pale with fear, quickly barred the door. Alistair, hot on Pip's heels, grinned menacingly. "2 little pigs, a double feast," he snarled. Little pigs, let me come in." Again, the pigs refused. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." This time, Alistair's huffing and puffing was even more ferocious. The stick house groaned, splintered, and then collapsed with a crash. Pip and Patch, terrified, barely escaped, racing towards Barnaby's sturdy brick home. Barnaby, hearing their frantic cries, quickly let them in and secured the heavy door. "I told you so," he muttered, but his concern for his brothers was clear. Soon, Alistair Wolf appeared, his hunger now a raging inferno. He circled the brick house, testing its strength, his cunning mind working overtime. Little pigs, let me come in," he roared, his voice shaking the very foundations. "Not by the hair on our chins," the brothers shouted back, united in defiance. Alistair huffed and he puffed, with all his might. He huffed and he puffed until he was red in the face. But the brick house stood firm, unyielding. Frustrated, the wolf tried every trick. He suggested meeting at the turnip field, then the apple tree, then the fair. He hoped to lure them out. But Barnaby, remembering his mother's wisdom, outsmarted him each time, always arriving earlier. Finally, in a fit of rage, Alistair spotted the chimney. "I'll get you yet," he snarled, climbing onto the roof. Inside, Barnaby, anticipating this, had placed a large pot of water to boil over the fire. As Alistair slid down the chimney, he plunged headfirst into the scalding water. With a yelp of pain, he shot back up the chimney. He disappeared into the forest, never to bother the three little pigs again. Pip and Patch, humbled and grateful, embraced their wise brother. They had learned a valuable lesson. Hard work and preparation were far more rewarding than quick fixes. From that day on, they helped Barnaby maintain the brick house. Together, they lived happily and safely, always remembering Mother Pig's words, "Do your best."